June 2013, he started the first series was India Eternal, Religion, Culture and Life. And in that, he continued that series for 4.5 years. And in that one, he briefly talked about geography and history of India, Hindu scriptures, very in brief, Vedas, Upanishad, Brahma Sutras, Puranas, Ramayana and Mahabharata. Then in April 2018, he started Vivek Chudamani. Next 2 years, he gave us discourses on Ashtavakra Samhita. In 21, Narad Bhakti Sutra. 22 to 23, Kapila Upadesha. And last year, he taught us message from the Upadesh Sahasri of Shri Shankaracharya. So far, so he provided discourses on India Eternal, covering history and all Hindu scriptures. Then he taught us pure Advaita, very high level Vedanta, and that's why this series is called Fragrance of Vedanta. It only gives us little fragrance, we have to enjoy it, absorb it, and go further by giving discourses or all these very highly high text in our scriptures. And in between, he introduced the bhakti also by discussing Narad Bhakti Sutra. Now, looks like Swamiji had taught us so much, and now you are going to teach us the practical message of Bhagavad Gita. This year he decided this topic, and you decided to give us those pointers which were taught by Shri Krishna in Bhagavad Gita,
Yeah.
and we are going to hear from you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Swamiji.
Thank you. Today is a very auspicious day, as we know. First is Ram Navami, and then particularly is a Saturday, and from 8:30 to 9:30, it was the most auspicious moment. So that was, if anybody is doing some japa and all that, the effect will be much more. That is at the Hindus, the belief. So now that the excellent way, I was not knowing that so much of very wonderfully she has noted and everything she has given. And I forgot that India Eternal and all those things. And this is wonderful that she has reminded. Now we were, Fragrance of Vedanta, we are continuing. And last year, Upadesha Sahasri. But in 1,000 Upadesha advices, the Shankaracharya gave us the only one message, and that is Vedanta. And Vedanta is nothing but telling you, you are that Supreme Brahman. Advaita Vedanta. You are that Supreme Brahman. Dvaita Vedanta. You are God yourself. So this is the Dvaita and Advaita. This is almost the same. And you will be happy. I will also send you the all information. The Alabama devotees in the Hindu temple of Alabama, that they are going to organize in the September 12, 13 and 14, 3 days. Of course, just like our Ganges retreat, the 14th, the Friday, Saturday and Sunday morning, the Vedanta, that Vedanta will be discussed. Dvaita Vedanta, Vishishta Advaita Vedanta, Advaita Vedanta, from different points of view, it will be discussed. If you are interested, you can go. They have naturally they have booked the whole hotel. Devotees can go and stay there and attend that. Now, Fragrance of Vedanta, we will continue this the very practical advices from the Bhagavad Gita, which is called the Quintessence of Gita. The Quintessence of Gita, or what actually it teaches. If it is not helping us in our day-to-day life, then what is the use of it? What we learn, if we are not applying that in our daily life, not improving ourselves, then it is of no use. That is most important. So as we always do, let us chant from this Bhagavad Gita, and the first, Gita Dhyanam, the first sloka, and the fifth one, usually we do before we study the Bhagavad Gita, the Gita Dhyanam. So you can repeat after me. Om Parthaya.
Om Parthaya.
pratibodhitam bhagavata narayanena swayam vyasena grathitam purana munina madhye mahabharatam advaita amritavarshini bhagavatim ashtadashadhyayinim amba tvam anusandadami Bhagavad Gita Bhavadeshinim Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsa Charnuramardhanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Bande Jagat Gurum. Here the Lord Krishna, about whom we will be studying, but in the beginning it says Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam, not Krishna. It is Narayana. And who is Narayana? Narayana is the practical form of the Vishnu. The Vishnu is the supreme God, but Vishnu cannot work. The moment you are working, you have to apply Sattva, Raja, Tama, three gunas, and effect will come on you. That's why in the Advaita Vedanta, they say Parama Brahma and Swaguna Brahma. Nirguna Brahma, Swaguna Brahma. Nirguna Brahma is not acting, but that same Brahma separating itself and becoming Swaguna with Guna, Sattva, Rajatama, then acting. In the Dvaita Vedanta, it is Vishnu, and Vishnu is not acting. Vishnu is all-pervasive God. God who is all-pervasive, but God. Why? It becomes easy for us to comprehend. And in the Bhagavata, on the 9th chapter only, Vishnu takes the form. Otherwise, from 1 to 9, it is all without form. The Hindu never worship in form, but we have so many crores of forms, so many, but we don't worship that. So that is very unique. The why and how they are working, why the creation is just for the fun of the God. How he is creating out of his own. And then how he is working, a separate entity he is making. Here it is Narayana. So Narayanena Swayam. The Vishnu, when becomes Narayana, all activities begin. Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayana. The God, the supreme reality, Narayana himself, who has recorded Vyasena. And who is the Vyasa? Is the experienced Muni. Muni means Mananshila. They are thinkers. They realize many things, discover many things. But they have differences. So the doctors, experienced doctors, and just pass out doctors. Difference is there. So Purana Munina. It may be old Muni or experienced Muni. I take the this meaning, experienced one. Without experience is very difficult. So experienced one, where he recorded in the Mahabharata.
What is Parthaya Pratibodhita? Can you explain Parthaya Pratibodhita?
You will come that here the Narayana, he is teaching directly, recorded by the, to whom? This Partha. And who is this Partha? The Pritha is the mother and his son, so Partha, not Arjuna. He is not mentioning Arjuna. Why Pritha? Pritha, the mother, was practicing spirituality by observing Swadharma. If we see the life of, so these are the things, if we don't observe, we won't learn from anything. Emotionally, we'll come to the temple, do the puja, have the bhoga, go back. And the same old man, after practicing 15, 20 years of spirituality, we remain in the same place. No progress in spiritual life. So this is said to the Partha. Why Pritha is mother? The mother's life we know that. Then Advaita Amrita Varshinim. Now what are those advices? Advaita, not Dvaita. Advaita Amrita Varshinim. That it is raining profusely. He is giving Advaita Amrita. What is Amrita? The moment you take that, you become eternal. It is not physically, but spiritually. It is not the physically I will be eternal. That will be troublesome. Even in this age, I am thinking, where to go? Enough. Now, and this eternally, if you are surviving, it is spiritually, you will be surviving eternally. Advaita Amrita Varshini. And then it is addressed as Bhagavati. It's not as a God, but the mother. Bhagavati and Ashtadasha Adhyayanim, introducing the Bhagavad Gita, the 18th chapter. And it is like a mother. Why? Same thing again and again is repeating. And mothers, they go on repeating go and see it, study. Same thing they will be telling. And naturally, if we record, we will find when a child is growing up till 20 years at least, million times the mother has said, go and study. So why they say that? Because that is good for the baby, good for the child. So that is the reason. Here also, the same thing in different ways, repeating. Amba, that's why they're calling as mother. Amba means mother. Anusandadhami, I meditate on you. Meditation means forgetting all other things, I am thinking of you. Meditation is nothing but the thinking, but forgetting all other things, I am thinking of you. Bhagavad Gita. But what is the effect? Bhavadeshinim. You are cutting asunder all the bondages of the bhava. Bhava means this world. And what is this world? Name and form. And because of this name and form, we are tied down over here, taking different birth and constantly going on. So that you are removing. In the 5th verse, it says, that Supreme Lord, who was the Narayana, he has become Vasudeva, the son of the human form. Vasudeva, Devaki, what he did two. One, punishing and blessing. What is the whom he has punished? Kamsa Charnu, Ram Mardanam. Mardana means giving lot of the pressure on them, or we can say punishing them. So Kamsa and Charnu. Kamsa we know, the maternal uncle of the, and the Charnu was also the same type of person at the time of Kamsa. This is Charnu. And see, the same God, he is giving so much of joy to Devaki Paramanandam. So when the mother with affection, with love, with devotion, approaching the God, God gives back the 1,000-fold that joy, love. And when you are approaching God with enmity, and then he also returns back. He says, I am not doing anything. Whatever you give it to me, I give that back to you in 1,000-folds. If you give bad things, you will have the bad things only. What else I will give you? So when we do the puja and what we are praying, what is our condition of the mind, that depends. Now, saying this, if we start the first chapter, it begins with, very interestingly, Vishada Yoga. The Vishada means despondency. I do not know what I should do. That's called Vishada. Dukkha, I am already suffering. It is not suffering. I am confused. So Vishada. I do not know where to go, what to do, who can help. So this is a confusing state of mind. It's called Vishada. that Vishada, of course, most part is the suffering. So this Arjuna Vishada Yoga. Why is Arjuna suffering? Because he came to the war, to the war after the long preparation. He went to the heaven to collect some divine weapons from the gods, and also he pleased Shiva and got his blessed that weapon. Oh, why he was collecting all those? So that he can fight. But when the time came, he got confused. He is a Kshatriya, he is supposed to do all those things. He prepared for so many years. 12, 14 years they prepared, right from their childhood days. They are preparing for this particular moment. And when the moment came, then he thought, oh, they are all my friends, my brothers, my relatives. If I kill them, he is thinking not the enemy, but the friend, but the brother. Arjuna never said, oh, so many unknown people have come. I don't have any relation with them. Why am I going to kill them? He never said that. From all over India, the greater India, right from the middle, what's called that nowadays? Afghanistan, all these people, they came and gathered. And up to Bengal, Assam, so all they went over there. They joined both the groups. But Arjuna never said that about them. Oh, see, these people, we don't have any relation with them. In thousands they have come, they will be, why we should kill them? So he is not telling that. He is concerned about his own person. So that is called Maya. And when you are concerned about all other people whom you even don't know, it's called Daya. The two different words, Daya and Maya. So Maya, attachment, that Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna said, it is Maya that binds. You are having the compassion. You are showing real good sense about them. But at the back of your mind, it is attachment. That's why you are showing. And when other people are dying, whom you don't know, you don't care about that. That means you are ruthless in that way. So Maya and Daya. If Arjuna had said, see, look, so many people have come, only for a piece of land, why we are going to kill them? Then perhaps Krishna would have said something in different way. But this fellow, he is telling, look at this, oh, he is my grandfather, he is my teacher, he is my friend, he is my brother. So Krishna was very quiet. He never mentioned anything. When we argue, God will be quiet. Because we have the ego and we think we have understood and we will have the arguments and God will never give the reply. So it's quiet. And when that is done, when what happened after all this in the whole first chapter, Krishna is quiet. And then afterwards, in the beginning of the second chapter, when he said, I am thoroughly confused and I am bowing down at you, Shishyasteham Shwadimam Tam Prapanyam. I am requesting you, please guide me. Then only God started guiding. So when the God will guide, it's just like the European style. Unless you request, they won't give. It's not Indian. The Indian means, oh, seeing that man is suffering, whether he is asking or not, whether he, then we will go, Arey, you have, he said, I never wanted, I am just lying down here. 5 people will run to pick him up. But no, sir, don't, I'm lying down, sleeping over here. Why? But we Indians, we work with the emotion. But the Europeans, did he ask? No. Even if he is asking, is he having friends, other things, they will call 911, but that's all. That is the way it works. Here, God is also working in the European style. He is waiting. When the Arjuna said, please help me, then only he said, okay, I will help you. But we will come that later. But now, when the Arjuna is suffering, that suffering became a very strong power, I think, to realize God. Suffering. That is most important. Unless we suffer, we never turn to God. when everybody is praising me, when everybody is appreciating me, everything is all up in the pink color as they call it, then nobody will think of God. When the suffering comes, then they will think of God. So one couple came, I'm very sorry to say, they never ever came, they themselves was telling, we never ever cared about God, but my son passed away suddenly. Now we do not know where to go. It's a very strong blow. So they have come to the God. Now, of course, their other friends, they were guiding them in a different way. But they came. I remembered that. Why? I thought this is the time. See, son was, before birth, he was not with us. After that, he is not there. So in between, a few years only, that relation. If you can understand that, but the blow of his death, that brings you to God. And that you utilize. If you can utilize that. And that is why in the whole world, the only one who prayed to God, please give me all suffering and don't give me all enjoyment ever. Give me suffering. Can you say who? Kunti. That's why Kunti Putra. Kunti's mind, she was so advanced in spirituality. She never thought of, she knew very well, this life temporary, whether we are living in a palatial palace or in the nothing. After a few days, the person in the palace will also die, I will also die. So this is that's why she said, God, give me at least. You have solved all my problem. But that is the problem. Because I will, now I will forget you. So give me some problem, so that I can remember you. That is a unique prayer. Here, today's discussion, I will mention that Arjuna got that. But I will come to that in the conclusion. But here I like to remind you, most of you know about Prahlada. It's an excellent character in the, and it says that the Prahlada was a great devotee of Vishnu, but his father was not. His father was not that his friend or this, father was not. But he was not listening to the father even, though in our scriptures say that father is like God, Pita Sarga, Pita Dharma, etc. But when the father goes against the Dharma, against the God, then you did not listen to the father even. Even you should not listen to the father because he is misguiding you. So the Prahlada's life, the first teaching is this. He was in a dilemma. And the young man, he was not a very grown up and experienced. But he was sticking to the love of God. No, I won't leave God. And the father wanted to kill him. He wanted to kill him in so many different ways. He was torturing. And there is no record, but we can understand he was, of course, abusing and a mother also. So why the son is not listening to me? Because the mother was also not happy, but still this boy was sticking to God. And how? With a faith. What is the faith? God will save me. So suffering is there, but he never gave up the hope. We can remember a very present day, modern time, the suffering was there in the life of Shuddhiram Chattopadhyay, the father of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. He was a well-off person. He was having everything. But suddenly one person came and told that he was the landlord of that locality, that area. He said, see, I am in difficulty and in the litigation. Everyone knows you are a very truthful Brahmin. If you go and tell in favor of me only one false word, I will give you a lot of money. So please tell. Now, what people will think, only one time I am giving, this is okay. He said, no, I am not going to tell that. Suffering came, and suffering means terrible suffering. When a person with the children are there, every whole family, still that the place is there, our devotees, they purchase that. And now they giving it back to Ramakrishna Mission to maintain. So I went to visit. Everything is there. And one night, all these people came of the Jamindars. In those days, they were all powerful people. And they came, they forced them out to go. Now look at the mother also, his wife. And that is called Dharma Patni. She is always supporting the husband for the good cause. And she could say, go and tell a lie, what is there? And for that you can save the whole family. Now how can I go out and leave with all the children on the street? It is not possible. Even if you tell a lie, sky is not breaking on your head. Go and tell. She could say. And maybe that man naturally under the pressure. But she told, no. You are correct. We should not tell the lies. Even for that, if you have to suffer, it's no problem. She packed up and came out with the husband. And that is called Dharma Patni. Patni, that actual religion is very, very tough. Very tough. So this is the way we have to learn from their lives. Otherwise, if a man and a woman, they're completely different. When they become husband and wife, completely different. Why? Because they are the maker of the human society. And the human society means a human who is so close to God, very close to God. Almost all the divine qualities are present in that human. And it depends on the parents. Not that after the birth you are going on giving the education and culture. No. Even before birth, you are praying and praying in your own life so that your child will be all best karma phala people. They will choose you as your father and mother. So this is the way the Prahlada came. He chose there, but to prove the true devotion. So one example we find in the Prahlada, that he was under the pressure, but even then he was constantly loving God, believing God, praying to God, and he was saved. Second, another is the Dhruva. The Dhruva, his mother was the first wife of but the second wife didn't like her, so forced her to go away. And she was living a very humble life, though she was the first queen. And the Dhruva was the son. And one day Dhruva heard that king is the father. So he went to the father. We can understand maybe 7 years, 10 years old boy. He went and saw that another child is sitting on the lap of the father. So naturally he thought, I'll also go and sit. Father was liking that. Father was calling him. But the mother came, the second mother, and then told, no, if you were my child, then you had that opportunity. Otherwise, in this life you cannot sit. Go away. He came back and then asked his mother, how can I go and sit on the lap of my father, who is more powerful than the father, so that he can say, then father will obey? Then the mother told, only the Lord Vishnu, the only supreme God can. Other father is king. Naturally, he is more powerful. Then believing the word of the mother and not knowing anything about God, with just faith, there must be someone more powerful than the father, he went out. How it began? The search for God, how it began? Not with love, but with suffering, but with insult. So see how at the very first chapter of the Bhagavad Gita is so important. Of course, our Shankaracharya didn't give any the commentary on it because he said that is not necessary. This is a higher type of, that begins with the second chapter. So like here, but I think this is for us, the ordinary people, we must learn from the Arjuna and the suffering of the Arjuna. Then I was noting down the Prahlada and the Dhruva. The Vishnu Priya, the wife of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Vishnu Priya. And she was married in those days as early marriage. She was married at a very young age. And after a few years, suddenly her husband told, I am leaving. You have to leave over here. Don't come out of the house. Live a very austere holy life. That's all. That much the advice is from the husband. And the husband left. And what she did, because of that, she never complained, she never cried, she never told. But the mother was crying. She was blaming all the people who inspired Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to become the monk. She used to go and fight with them. That we can find that natural family life. But the wife never said anything. What she did, she took that suffering as an austerity. Of course, we can say, we can quote the mother, Sharadamani Devi also, but there was no suffering in that way. So I am not quoting her name here. Vishnupriya was suffering was there. The Vishnupriya, obviously, 18 years young lady, there no husband, no children, nothing is there. And what she used to do, she used to practice austerity in this way. As many times I will repeat the name of God, that many rice, raw rice I will put. And suppose I can take 1 lakh name of the God, then 1 lakh rice, that I will boil, offer to God, and that prasad I will take. She survived with that only and never came out of the room. So Vishnupriya didn't die. Vishnupriya, that suffering, she turned towards the God realization. The first chapter of the Bhagavad Gita inspires us, when we are suffering, we should be happy. Because this is an opportunity for me to turn towards God. And suffering is so much, when you are happy, the intensity is less. But when you are suffering, tremendous intensity. Either you feel like going and killing the person for whom you are suffering, or you like to commit suicide, or you like to cry, or you like to fight. Tremendous pressure is there inside in the mind. Instead of directing it towards the world for retaliation, if we can turn it towards God. That's why Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna Dev said, you can never forget the ego. It is impossible. You cannot give up the anger, lust, but think of God only. When you are angry, be angry with God. You have given darshana to so many people, why not me? What wrong have I done? It's true that I am also calling on you, I am also praying to you, maybe not in that intensity, because you have not given me that mind. So naturally you were fighting with the God. You must come and stand before me, because I am also your creation. I am also your child. The anger should go to God. That's Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna said like that. And we find in that the Mirabai's life. The Mirabai, there's all known characters. She was a princess. She was a queen. And unnecessarily, some of the other ladies, she was not fighting with anyone, she was not complaining. Unnecessarily, they were going on creating problem in her life. And not only that, so the husband should be angry, they actually fabricated some story, and kings are like that. They were busy outside fighting and then came back, and then they told even the sister of that king that your wife is not faithful. We have heard that she is talking with someone. How can he talk to someone? Because she is inside the room and inside the palace. How can she talk to someone? They never inquired. There were guards were there, and the palace, inside the room. She was talking to God only. But her husband knew it, but even then could not control the anger, asked her to go away. And that lady, now no one was there, neither the father's side, nor the husband's side. She was all alone on the street. Can you imagine the situation? But she never complained. She never cried for help to anyone. She was going on praising the name of God, and whoever heard that voice, that they got transformed. They wanted to help her. Whatever little help was necessary, she took, and then slowly, 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 it is Mirabai that we remember and worship, not her husband. We don't know the name of that husband also. Who cares? We don't know her father. We don't know her husband. We don't know the other family. Only because to know the life of Mirabai, we read that. But it is the Mirabai in the central character. Why? She suffered. But the suffering was transformed as a prayer. Suffering became prayer. So when we are suffering, instead of thinking that, oh, this is why I should suffer, we should turn towards God. Very recently, that the very famous person afterwards became a religious person. He was a patriot and he was put into jail by the British police. Aravinda Ghosh, an ICS officer, he came and he was a patriot. He was fighting. He was not fighting, means he was writing article against the Britishers. So they put him into jail. And not only in the jail, in the cellular, no one can talk to him, he cannot see. You can imagine when you are living all alone without anyone. Day after day, you cannot see the face of. In his autobiography, he has written, he used to lie down in the close to the door, only to see some people walking around outside, only to hear those sounds, only to see those steps. To engage himself. Whole day he used to observe how many people came like that, to pass time. Then he started studying the life of the ants, something moving. And he used to look, only one small window was there on the top of almost, to see if any birds are flying or anything is there. Then one day he thought that if I am continuing like this, then I will become mad. Then suddenly a thought crossed in his mind. In the same jail, almost in the next room perhaps, his brother was also Barindranath Ghosh. He was also arrested over there. The two brothers, one brother took that suffering as a blessings. How? This, he started thinking, Aravinda started thinking, why I am all the time thinking about other people? There are rishis, they themselves went to inside the jungle, inside the cave, and never wanted to see anything. And by that way they realized, God, this is my opportunity. I am in a cave. Why I am thinking that I am in a jail? God has given me this opportunity to concentrate my mind. My mind should not go out. He started practicing meditation. Of course, he said, I don't know much about it, that he said that the Swami Vivekananda appeared before him. He was a devotee of Sri Ramakrishna. And Vivekananda appeared before him and taught him meditation. So he was a great yogi. When afterwards his followers, they removed that part. Anyway, so that is the way he learned meditation. And he went as a patriot. He came out as a spiritual leader. Aravinda Ghosh entered, came out Rishi Aravinda. See, the suffering, that is a very practical way. Whenever we are suffering, if anybody is insulting us, we should not blame that person. We should thank the God. It's good that you have given that insult. So now, inside my mind, I cannot forget, is going on brooding. I should complain to you. Why? Through that person, you are giving me pain. Lord Jesus, when they were taking him for the crucifixion, he never blamed those people who were throwing stones and spitting on him and abusive words they were using. He said to God, why all this to me? He was talking to God. Even at that time, he didn't forget the God. Of course, you know the confession. Confession means is that afterwards they develop confession in a different way. And there's a small 2 rooms will be there, and go and tell what wrong you have done all through the week. And inside there'll be someone listening to you, and he will say, Acha, give some money, and okay. Whatever the whole day, whole week, all the bad things you have done, okay, that is. Next week again you can start, fresh. So that is not the confession. Confession means when I lose the faith in the existence of God, as per my idea. When the Jesus, he was going like that, it was really, really impossible for anyone to bear that physical pain. It was terrible hot, no food, no water, people stoning and spitting, and he himself is carrying the frail body, and they gave him a heavy cross to carry. He was carrying his own cross. And then one time he said, "Oh Lord, why all this to me?" Then immediately he said, "I am sorry." Because he knew he has come only for that. A faith for a moment it was lost. He said, "I am sorry. Let thy will be done." And that is called confession. I forgot that you are there, and all these things only to teach the people how they should sacrifice. So I am sorry for that. This is called that suffering is directing towards God. And then we find that Rabia, in the Muslim saints, one Rabia, she is the only that name we get. She was a maidservant in a rich man's house. And you know that they don't believe that the women are having the life. Somehow there's a wrong notion, and particularly those who are this. So obviously they were thinking that they don't have life at all. The maidservant, what is there in his life, in our life? So one day they were having a feast. Then suddenly someone told, when we are eating this, we can see the leg, the bones of the. Achha, what about the human legs? Then the Rabia was serving them. "Hey Rabia, lie down over here." And they cut open the knee to see how the joints are. Just forgetting that it's a living being, a human. Then afterwards, naturally, you go. Somehow she bandaged, and then she was giving a small room almost outside the house and near to the door, back door, and she was there. The owner forgot about her. There are so many other servants are there. One day when he was coming back, he came back through the back door, entered through the back door. Then he heard someone is praying, taking his name. My boss is a really good man, but innocent man, but they don't know that I am a living being. And I also feel pain. So, oh God, please don't give any suffering to my boss. It was not willingly he gave me. So that is called love. And that way she was praying. When he heard that prayer, he told, "Oh, that's true. He's a living being." And she must have suffered so much. And afterwards, the owner said, "From today, I give you the certificate, you are free, no more bonded labor, so you can go away." And she went inside the desert and built a heart, and she started praying. And the people passing through, they used to give Lord, became very, very famous, Rabia. So we find that again the suffering directing the mind towards God, and she is becoming. Think of Vivekananda. He was a graduate of Calcutta University in those days. He was not getting a job. Can you imagine? His father used to earn so much of money that every day almost 300 people used to take food. They were so rich. And every day, 30 people of their own, different the relations, and so many people. They were so rich. But in those days, the father used to think that elder brother is like the father. You know, in the Mahabharata, we also find that. We consider the elder brother as the father. Whatever he earned, he gave it to his elder brother. And that, he never proved that he is a father. And the moment his father died, Narendranath's father, they told, "No, he has not given us any money, so I am not going to share anything with you people. You go away." Moreover, they wanted to take away their portion of their parental house, which is now in Calcutta, has got the Ramakrishna Mission, has got that. the present government, they organized and gave it to the Ramakrishna Mission. So this is the way, and they became suddenly very poor. And he was a teacher in one place where some of the other teachers, as because he was so popular among the students, they became jealous. The students used to go to attend his class all the time. So other teachers became jealous. They complained, the wrong complaint, and without any inquiry, a man like Vidyasagar, he was so, you know, in Bengal, the famous Vidyasagar, it was his school, and he never inquired it is whether true or not. He fired Narendranath, and Narendranath didn't get any job anywhere, because wherever he went, they all knew Vidyasagar fired him, so they told no. As because Vidyasagar didn't accept you, there must be something wrong with you. He was suffering. And when he was suffering, ultimately, he went to so many people, approached so many people. Friends, it was the time when someone was having little education like class 8 or 10, that was sufficient to get a good job in the British the officers. He was a graduate, so fluent in English, we know that. But he was not getting a job. Look at it. A day passed in such a way, he was so hungry, he was going on office to office asking for a job. He became so hungry, he lied down on a open place was there, he was lying down there, fainted. Then because of the rain, he got up. And then he was then wondering, what will happen to my family? Ultimately, he came to Sri Ramakrishna. And when all doors were closed, then ultimately he came to Sri Ramakrishna, because he knew that Sri Ramakrishna loved him so much, and he told, I know that your mother, not Kali, he never believed in Kali. So he said, I know that your mother listened to you, will you please pray for me? And we know that Sri Ramakrishna told, you go and pray, and today is Saturday, whatever you will pray, you will get that. So suffering, if we turn the suffering towards God, then we really, lastly, I will tell you, the one very famous person whom all we know, Bankim Chandra Chattopadhyay. Bankim Chandra, the very famous person, you know, he was a very highly educated person, he was a magistrate. In those days, magistrate, in the British time, an Indian is a magistrate, means he was a judge. So he was coming in a palanquin. Inside the palanquin, those who have seen the palanquin, you know, everything is closed. A person who is sitting inside can't understand where actually the carriers are taking. The carrier, they were crossing a field where some Britishers, they were playing cricket. So, but Bankim Chandra never knew it. Then when his carriers were crossing the field, and these people, they were not knowing what is cricket. Two persons standing in two corners, how they will know that they are playing? So, we can understand football. So many people playing. Only two persons in two corners and one person in the ball. These people couldn't understand that they thought they are standing over there. There's a big field, so they crossed to that. Then they became very angry, then stopped them, and naturally Bankim Chandra came out and told what happened. It was just, we have already crossed, it's over. They slapped him. The officer slapped him. And Bankim was the magistrate. Even then, as because they are the colored person, and the Britishers in those days, you can understand, they slapped him. That, the suffering, that insult before everyone, and he started writing. Before that, he was in favor of the Britishers. And after that, he started thinking, no, these people should go. Though he continued in the job, but he started inspiring people against the Britishers and all those things that he wrote secretly afterwards. See, the suffering, he was a supporter of Britishers. Now he became a great patriot because of the suffering. He loved country. So, but if you love God, you go towards God. So today we will stop over here. That is, it happened in the Lalgola. Lalgola Javindar was there. He also insulted. The big story. So these are the incidents that I just picked up from the ancient stories and from the history, from the very present. If you are turning the mind towards God, you realize God. So we should bless our suffering. And I conclude with the statement of Swami Vivekananda. He said, I bless my failures. I bless my sufferings. Because of them, I am here today. I bless my failures. So in our life, when we fail, it is nothing. We can try. And recently, I read in a newspaper that one lady, she was not allowed to sit in a competitive exam, for some reason maybe, committed suicide. Why? That job is not for you. So no problem. Some other jobs are waiting for you. Have the patience, I should say. And the first chapter of the Bhagavad Gita is a great inspiration. Then when we are suffering, and suffering is more in our life, that power we should direct towards God. Thank you very much.